Alright, back with another short video. I just wanted to show a modification that I did to a Brave Response holster. I thought it would be good to explain it really quick, talk about how I did it, and the holsters I chose to make it work. And here we go. So I chose from Brave Response. They make a Vorn holster. It is made to be worn strong side, 3-4 o'clock. I guess you could, in a way, wear it appendix, but it was mainly designed for strong side. But the reason I chose that one is it has a very small area that the holster was. It wasn't as wide and wasn't as big and bulky. And the idea was I prefer to carry appendix. My body shape carried for over 10 years. It's just the best for me. It's the most concealable, it's the most comfortable. I feel the best with it. Everybody's going to have different opinions, but for me, that's what I use. So what I wanted to do is create a modular system that allowed for me to be able to wear appendix, have something stable that really was just as good as wearing a belt, but without wearing a belt. Like if I wanted to wear gym shorts or sweatpants or any other garment that didn't have a belt. Basically, like I said, make it adaptable to any type of clothing. So I chose the Vorn, and the holster that I chose to insert inside here is a Works M6 holster, and this is for a Glock 19 with a TLR7 light. And I'll just quickly explain how I did the mod. So I took the Vorn holster and this entire main section. I unsewed everything and split these two pieces apart. And what I wanted to do is create one big pocket. So I took these two pieces and I sewed them back together really well. I'm not into sewing, but I did a fairly decent job with that. Sewed this back together, and then what I did is I placed the holster to where it was perfect, to where I could get a full grip, and then I attached the holster to the front. So there's two screws that run into the holster. This particular holster has two holes on the front that are adaptable for clips like this. So two on the front, and then I secured it with two more in the back. I then sewed, like I said, around the perimeter, and that holds this in place. So this holster, this Works M6 holster, is not coming out of this pocket. It is in there, very stable. Like I said, I wanted to make something that was, that I could carry appendix. So another modification that I did is the way this holster comes from Brave Response is these straps come straight off. And they're angled more like this when you get them from Brave Response. So what I did is I angled them. As you can see, this now comes off in an angle this way, so that when it sits in front of me, it actually is where it's going to stay put and not want to try to pull itself up this way. So instead of it being straight the way that it was. So it's a lot easier. It sits in the right place and it doesn't move. Very stable. Another thing I wanted to do is I wanted to make sure that I had stability through the center of the holster to keep it pushed up against me. But the other reason I did this is that it's kind of a two-way system. If you notice in here, when this holster was inserted, there is a spacer right here that pushes the holster. If you can see, it's angled this way. And what that does, instead of having a claw and something sticking out on this side over here like a lot of other holsters have, just having this sitting offset inside there makes a big difference as far as concealability. The second part of that is this belt, like I mentioned, it keeps everything stable through the center of the gun. But part of that concealability is it also holds everything kind of closer to the body, which is really helpful. The other reason this belt is here is I'll show you here with the gun itself. So this I carry a Glock 19 with an optic and with a light, which is not a small gun. It's probably one of the few guns people wouldn't try to attempt to do this with, because it's a much bigger gun, and there's a lot of weight. So this gun is clear. It has a magazine in it. The magazine is empty. This is a safety barrel, so it has a plug. It's all safe and clear. So the way this gun sits in here is just like you would normally put it in the holster. It just goes in the holster. However, it's now attached to something that you can literally just strap onto your body. It doesn't matter what you're wearing. You could wear no pants at all, and it would be just as stable. That was the goal. The Ulti-Clip is here because the one thing I don't want is whatever garment I do choose to wear, gym shorts or whatever, I don't want that garment to get anywhere in this section of the where I want to get a full firing grip. The other thing is, for safety, I want to keep any portion of that garment out of the way when reholstering. Which brings me to the next point. The way this holster is set up and the way it was built had the intention to be able to reholster safely, which is a really, it's a need in these types of holsters, because nobody right now has a holster that has this stability and has everything that I've explained, but you can also reholster it one-handed if you wanted to, and have it totally safe. So that's what this does. It gives you that ability to do that. As far as any other modifications, the other thing I wanted to be able to carry a spare mag. So off to the side here, I did leave where I sewed that together. You can insert a spare magazine, and it's nice and snug. I'll kind of get it in here. Let's see if I can grab a hold of it. So once you get that inserted, you've got your spare mag. So you've got, let's turn this around so you can see it here. So you've got the spare mag, which is 15 rounds. You could do a 17 round if you want. This will go in much further to allow for a 17 round and not getting in the way of the optic. So right through here you'd have plenty of room still. There's still plenty of room to move it down a little bit further. So 17 round or 15 round will give you that, plus the 15 in the gun. So 15 here, plus one in the pipe, and another 15, or 17, you're looking at anywhere from 31 to 33 rounds. I've gone and I've done everything in this holster. I've jogged in it, ran in it, jumped around. I've done sit-ups. I've played softball in it. I've done everything with a spare mag and fully loaded, and it is completely stable with no problems at all. Hopefully it's something that Brave Response is looking at. Maybe other holster makers are looking at it. I just wanted to get the idea out there, show that it can be done. Basically just give everybody this information. So hopefully you liked the video. Hopefully you got something from it. Maybe your own modification ideas, or hopefully it sparks some other ideas that are out there. If you like the video, please like and share. If you have any comments, please leave them below. Any suggestions, questions, anything like that, I'd be happy to answer them. And until next time.